This is a restorative flow that is great to do after a long hike, maybe a long day at work, maybe you're on vacation with your children and you've had a long, busy day at the beach. Anytime that you're really looking to unwind and relax. I would recommend trying to find any props that you have. You can use some yoga blocks or any cushion, pillow, towel or blanket that you have around your home. I would recommend just pausing the video, go grab those things. It'll make this just a little bit more relaxing for you. So throughout this sequence, you'll have a little bit fewer poses with a little bit longer holds, and utilizing those props will just make it a lot more comfortable for you. So to begin, we are going to come to a kneeling position. You can start with your knees together and toes to touch, or toes together, knees further apart. Grab that cushion if you're using it and place it either long ways or horizontal, either way, just kind of laying against your thighs here. Start to walk your hands out in front and take a big deep breath in and exhale. Start to sink your chest down onto that prop or the mat for our child's pose, our balasana. You can rest your forehead down on your prop or block, or even down on the mat. You can rest either cheek on your prop or the mat. Just settling in here. You can keep some engagement through the upper arms, or let those forearms rest down on the mat. We're going to hold each pose for about 3 to 5 breaths. So inhale, just trying to widen in the low back. And with each exhale, softening down. On your next inhale, start to rise up, walking your hands back a little bit closer towards your knees. You can remove that prop. Coming on to more of an all fours position, stacking your wrist under your shoulders, knees under your hips, shins parallel behind your knees, walking your hands out about 2 hands width out in front, strong through the fingertips, spread nice and wide. Inhale here. Exhale, send your hips back a little bit as you sink your chest down here for our puppy pose. Again, keeping nice engagement through the upper arms. You can let your head hang heavy, letting your forehead rest down onto the mat. Or if you're feeling okay here and you want to go a little bit deeper, you can look forward, bringing your chest closer to the mat and resting your chin down on the mat. Coming back to that breath, trying to find length on each inhale. And each exhale, softening just a little bit more. Last inhale here. Exhale, rise up. Walking those hands in just a little bit. Tuck the toes. Strong through the core. Lifting the knees to send your hips up high for our first down dog. You can pedal out the legs here. Sway the hips side to side. Push strong through those wrists, strong through those shoulders. Send your hips high. Nice long spine. Generous bend in the knees. Let the head hang loose. Gazing in between the ankles. Inhale here. Exhale, step the right foot forward in between the hands. Lower the back knee. Inhale, rise up for our low lunge. You can place the hands on the knee or on the hips, or even raise them overhead. Try and tuck that tailbone a little bit. Find some more length through the left front hip. Energetically pull that right ankle towards your left knee. Good. Squeeze your inner thighs together to find some stability. Inhale here. Exhale, pushing through that right foot. Untuck the left toes. Sink your seat back onto your left heel. This would be a really nice pose for a prop as well. You can push any brick or pillow, cushion, anything that you have here. Just put it under that right hip to find a little bit more stability. If not, just sinking back onto your left heel there. Inhale here, find some nice length in the spine, reaching out through the crown of the head. And exhale, hinge at the hips to fold forward. Folding forward, keeping that nice long spine. Once you've gone as far as you can, feel free to round out the spine. Dipping the nose towards the knee. Letting the head hang heavy. Maybe shaking the head yes and no a little bit. Good. Inhale to remove that prop. Coming back to your low lunge. Hands on either side of the right foot. Untuck the left toes. Step the right foot back for down dog again. Pressing strong through those wrists, through those shoulders. Send those hips high. Generous bend in the knees. You can experiment here in your down dog with different positions of your feet. I like to turn my toes out wide, heels in. Again, you can bend into each knee. Just keeping that nice long length through the spine. You can do toes in, heels wide. Again, just experimenting with whatever feels good for you today. One more inhale here. And exhale. Step the left foot forward in between the hands, lowering the right knee down to the mat. Inhale to rise up. Hands resting on the left knee where the hips are overhead. Tucking that pelvis under a little bit to find length through the front of the right hip. Pulling right knee, left ankle towards each other. Squeezing your thighs together to find that balance. Inhale here. And exhale, grab that prop if you're using it as you sink down onto your right heel, placing yoga block, blanket, cushion under your left hip. Inhale, find that length. You can raise the arms up overhead. Exhale, hinging at the hips to fold forward over the left knee. Once you've gone as far as feels comfortable for you today, feel free to let those arms relax, round through the spine, letting the head hang loose. Again, you can move that neck around a little bit, shaking your head yes, shaking your head no. Each inhale, trying to find some space in the upper back. Breathing into the ribs, widening right to left. And exhale, seeing if you can find a little bit more depth in your fold. Good. Inhale to rise up, removing that prop. Walking your hands forward. Stepping left foot back to meet the right. for down dog again. Again, just experimenting here, walking out through the heels or finding stillness. Nice long spine. Big deep breath in and exhale. Let it all go. 2 more. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Let it all go. Start to walk your feet towards your hands. Bending those knees generously. Cross the ankles. Sit back down onto your seat. You can scoot your seat back a little bit towards the back of the mat. Extend the legs out in front. You can, it's another position, might be really nice to put a prop under the knees, blocks or any cushions that you have. Flex the feet, find length in the spine. Big deep breath, inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Reaching strong through the fingertips. Exhale, hinge at the hips. You can bend those knees until your belly meets your thighs to fold for your forward fold. Again, keeping that spine nice and long until you find as deep a fold as you can go. And then letting the spine round. Grabbing onto wherever you can on your legs if you can't reach your feet. Grabbing onto your shins or your knees or even just behind the thighs. You can experiment with widening your legs a bit instead of straight out in front. We're just going to spend a few breaths here in our forward fold. Good. Inhale to rise. Nice and slow. Raising just one vertebra at a time. You can remove that cushion out from under your knees if you were using that. Scooting more towards the middle of the mat. And we're going to come down onto our backs. If you have got some props, we're going to utilize those. If you have, I'll show you a couple different options. So if you're using yoga blocks, one can feel really nice, just right. You can put it vertical so it lines up nicely with your spine. And it might take a little tweaking in this pose. And you can use another block behind your head. You can have your soles of the feet on the floor, knees pointing up towards the sky, or feet wide as the mat, knees knocking in towards one another, arms out to a T for your supported fish. That is one option. If you do not have any blocks, but you're still using a pillow or a rolled up blanket, you can put that lengthwise on your mat, just lining it up with your spine. Slowly lowering yourself down onto that. Placing your arms out to the side or out to a T. You can place another cushion under your neck or under your head if you need a little bit more support. And same with the legs, you can place them soles of feet flat on the floor, knees pointing up to the sky. You can have feet wide, knees knocking towards one another, or even extending your legs out long. This is our supported fish phase, or fish pose. Opening up, broadening across through the chest there. few more big, deep breaths here. Last one. Good. Inhale to rise. You can remove that prop out from under you. And the last pose that we're going to do is legs up the wall, or you can use a couch, chair, anything that you have. If you're using the couch, coming to just place your seat up against the edge of the couch, legs up on the seat of the couch, arms down by your side, tuning into that breath. If you're going to the wall, you can place your seat as close or as far away from the wall as you'd like. The closer your seat is to the wall, the more intense this will be. And you're just going to extend your legs out overhead. Again, placing your seat as close or as far away from the wall as feels comfortable for you. You can also use the cushion if you've been using any kind of prop, placing that under the hips, and that can feel really nice to elevate the hips a little bit, give it a little bit of cushion. And this is our final pose. Just tuning into that breath. You can let the legs fall away from each other if that's comfortable. Taking one more moment for yourself before you continue on with your day. In fact, I'm just going to leave you in this pose as we close out practice as an invitation to stay here as long as you need. One more big deep breath in. And exhale. Let it all soften. Namaste.